Hi, my name is Peter Carr. I wanted to take just a few minutes to share with you a little bit of my story and some of my thoughts. That the hope is that it would be beneficial for you as well. So, back in 06 and 07, things were going pretty well. Financially, we were cruising along and the economy was booming and everything was wonderful, and as we all know, that didn't last very long. In fact, the fall was rather dramatic. We fell right off a cliff, in fact. Had quite a bit of land, a beautiful home, and lost almost everything. Anyway, worked diligently at getting things back. I chose network marketing as that venue, and had done a pretty good job of getting things back on track. We were coasting along pretty well. And in August of 2012, all of that stopped in a day. Boom. So, along comes my search for a more viable business plan. I wanted something that I could do from anywhere in the world with just me and my computer, and the ability to grow my business as large as I wanted it to grow rather than having someone else's limits on me. So the search finally brought me to what we now know as ASM, or the Amazing Selling Machine. And to put that in perspective, it is selling physical products on Amazon. So, as you probably have had similar thought process, I certainly did. I'm thinking, well, what am I going to sell on Amazon? I don't even have a physical product. Well, the course teaches all of that. So, part of what I want to get across to you today is the course is a crushingly viable business plan. It's more than viable. It is probably the singular best business model out there right now. If you know of a better one, I'd certainly look forward to hearing it. However, I can tell you from my personal experience and the experience of several other people I know, even to the extent that I shared it with friends and family that wanted to know what I was doing and how I had recaptured some of that success. So, the effort today is for me to share a little bit of my story and how my story will hopefully be of benefit to you. The first thing is, I was very, very determined to get back to where I was. I was not going to allow anything to keep me from the promised land, and so I was determined. Now I'm gonna spend quite a bit of time on this in just a minute here, but my point is, I needed a race car that would run on the racetrack and hopefully finish the race, if not win the race. So that's where the Amazing Selling Machine comes in, and selling products on Amazon. Everyone is going to have the same amount of time, which I did not have very much of. And money was also an issue for me. So many of you might be thinking, well, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have that, I can't this, I can't that. That's what you need to stop thinking that way. This business plan works. Plain and simple, it works real well. So, I had to do this on a part-time basis. I was working a full-time job. But I plugged away at it every single day. Never let a day go by that you don't do something to move your business forward in a measurable way. Even if it's just communicating with someone. It doesn't matter. Do something every day. The other portion of it is I did not have a lot of money to spend. And while the course isn't cheap, nor is it expensive when you put it in perspective of a business model that could bring a profit within 30, 60, 90, 120 days. There have been dramatic stories. Now, some of those stories aren't necessarily what you would measure against, but the point is, this business model works exceptionally well. So, the second portion of that is, while I did do this in my part-time, life happens. My wife went through a bout where we had some significant health issues. Many of you may have children and or grandchildren. I just got my second grandchild. Homes, cars that break down or run well, we all have life issues. That's not going to change. So whatever you pursue, don't let that life happens bumper sticker stand between you and your success. The other portion of it is money. If you want something bad enough, you will figure out resources to get what you're after. I had to. I know some other people that had to. Get creative. Find a way. You will find a way if you want a way bad enough. So I asked myself, what would be the difference between me becoming successful and or not becoming successful with ASM? And for me, the differentiator is right here. It's how I think about things. And I honestly believe, after my X number of years here on the planet, that that is the truth, no matter what your endeavor might be. The only differentiator between me and the people that are already successful is how I think about my success. So that's what I'd like to focus on today. 2 points. One, I just covered. This business model works. They even include tools that are over and above what you could do on your own, just taking the concepts and running with it. So the plan works. More importantly, I can work this plan, and so can you. And that's at the heart of my message today. I want you to know that you can do this. Most of that will depend upon how you think about things and some of the actions you take based upon your beliefs. It's no different for this endeavor than it is any other endeavor. If you believe you can, you at least stand a fighting chance. If you believe you can't, it is a 99.99% guarantee that you can't. So, it's mostly in your head. So, with that having been said, the good news is you can learn to think differently if you're currently defeating yourself with your own thoughts. Now, I don't mean to go all psychobabble on you here. It's actually very, very simple. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Your mental outlook will determine your success. I'm a 100% believer of that. I've seen it in my own life and seen it in the lives of many friends and other people that have captured their success. So, while there are percentages of people that are more successful than others, it still comes back to how you function on a daily basis, and that is how you think on a daily basis. We are hardwired to think, feel, and behave. Now that may sound strange, but everything is going to originate from a thought process. So if it's raining outside, you have a thought process. That will determine your feelings, which will determine your behaviors. Beautiful thing is you have the ability to alter your thoughts, which will alter your feelings, which will alter your behaviors. So, no psychobabble. This is very, very simple. I reached a point where I wasn't too concerned about what other people might think about me, because that doesn't put groceries on the table and a roof over my head. I was very, very determined. And I figured out that by writing my goals, and this gets beat up and abused a lot, but it's so crushingly important. I write my goals. I make them attainable. I make them measurable. I make them achievable. I make them stretch my mentality. I make them short-term, medium-term, and long-term. All quite significant. The point being is that I read those goals every day. I don't let a day go by that I don't read those goals, sometimes many more times than just once a day. Now, having said that, I also ask myself questions, and I think this is the most important part for at least my thought process. We all understand about affirmations and making statements that we positively affirm our thought process. But I think it's even more powerful when you ask your brain a question and your brain will seek out a solution. So make sure the question is positive and present tense and includes a solution. So for example, what one thing could I do today that would dramatically impact the growth of my business? That's a great question to ask yourself on a daily basis. In fact, several times a day. Another one might be, I wonder how great it will feel when I reach the milestone of X amount of income per month. That's another good one right there, because you don't know how it feels until you've reached it. And I can tell you, it feels wonderful when you reach it. So, again, not to go long-winded on all of this mental aspect of things, but I am 100% convinced that one, ASM does work. I've proved it, so have my friends and associates. And two, that the differentiator between you and success is right between your ears. And you can learn to do things differently. If you're defeating yourself, knock it off. You can think differently, and you can win this game. It's a beautiful process. The last portion of this is, growing up, most of us were taught not to daydream. Quit dreaming, knock it off, you gotta be serious, get real. Well, I'm a dreamer, and I believe 100% that dreaming is a beautiful thing. I want you to dream big. I want you to dream big about your personal life. I want you to dream big about your business. I want you to dream big about everything. Dreaming big is huge. After all, I'm just a little boy in a big body, and this little boy likes to have fun. And we ought to be having more of that. And that comes along with a little more time freedom and a little more financial freedom, and those things are available. So thanks for listening. I hope it's been a benefit to you. It certainly meant a difference for me. And I've shared this mentality with a few of my associates and friends that have also achieved a tremendous measure of success, and we all heartily agree and laugh about it now, but it is crucial. This thing works, and you can work it. All right, my name's Peter, and I appreciate your time today, and welcome aboard. We know you're going to have an incredibly wonderful ride. Thanks, and have a great day.